Fear. Noun. An unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain or harm. Fear. Verb. Be afraid of someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful or harmful. Everyone has that one thing that truly grips them with fear. It may be death, a person you know, or a piece of media designed to evoke this incredibly complex emotion. This video will delve into the 4 pieces of media that most scared me as a child. Please note that these won't include anything that was explicitly meant to be just horror and nothing else, so nothing like The Woman in Black will be on the main list, but something like Alien or a game show could be here.
I want to play a game.
This is not a fairy tale. Come and play the game if you want to take the...
The first show I want to talk about is a well-known CBBC show called Trapped. If you lived in Great Britain in the late 2000s as a kid, you know this show. In it, a group of kids would compete to escape a tower by doing various tasks, whilst one of them would try and sabotage the group to make them fail. That person was known as the Saboteur. If the team managed to complete the task, then the Saboteur was trapped. If they lost, then everyone would vote on who they thought the Saboteur was, and then the person with the most votes would be trapped in the tower. Unless there was a tie, in which case drawing straws decided who would live to fight another day, and who would be trapped with the creepy man-child. To escape, the contestants, called Unfortunates, had to be one of the last 2 players standing, and then win a quiz before they could boat back home with a grand prize of absolutely fuck all. So I hear you asking, why did this show scare me so much? I'll tell you, just don't interrupt me again. The main thing that got to me was the creepy woman that did the voiceover. I mean, look at her. She'd just appear out of nowhere and her voice was creepy. Little 7-year-old Taylor was not a fan of her, I can tell you that for free.
The challenge begin now.
Not only that though, the premise of being sucked into the TV and then forced to play this game after some boy entices you. Creepy. Not to mention this creepy nonce hiding in the attic.
Want to see a magic trick? Good. Abracadabra!
She's only in the mirror. This thing didn't work.
I can't get back while Andrew is still here, and I must get back to save Luke, to save the world.
The Sarah Jane Adventures was a fantastic Doctor Who spin-off aimed towards children, again on CBBC. CBBC were really on a mad one in the late 2000s, weren't they? Anyway, the show was basically Doctor Who, but just the Earth episodes and without the Doctor. So not really that much like Doctor Who at all, beyond the aliens and the Doctor popping up every once in a while. I didn't realise this beforehand, but the show got 5 seasons before Elizabeth Sladen tragically passed away from pancreatic cancer at the age of just 65. In terms of why the show is on the list, some people might be thinking the Gorgon, others may be thinking about that weird clown that I saw for the first time as an adult that scared the living daylights out of me. Another choice might be the Berserker episode, because God knows that could have been on my list, because God damn! Personally, the one thing that got to me as a little 6-year-old boy watching the telly after a good day outside was this demonic ensemble of a child's worst nightmare. I want to know who at the BBC was on crack, because who thought that this was an appropriate thing for children to see? I understand that British television is, on the whole, a lot more mature than its American counterparts. Hell, look at that one Tracy Beaker Returns episode where some refugee kids almost get crushed to death because they think they're going to watch everybody die in a bloody massacre by gunfire. Again. Or just that whole show in general, to be honest. You know what, in fact, here's a montage of Tracy Beaker Returns / Dumping Ground being absolutely insane.
Who did that to you? Did someone hit you?
This was because they had to run away from home.
Oh, why? Careful now, that's hot.
Because men with guns killed everyone in the village, including the mum and dad.
Oh, it's okay. I'm here now. It's all right, you're safe, okay? Don't cry.
Everyone is on your side. We're here to help.
You need to start acting like you're part of this family.
Okay, Kingsley, but don't knock me in.
You'll come out when you learn some respect.
No, Kingsley! Kingsley!
What's this video about again? Ah yes, the trickster. Why would he need eyes? or normal teeth. Nah, these children need to have nightmares. Not only was his appearance absolutely terrifying, but they introduced him by having him kill Sarah Jane. Her friend is about to fall off a pier and drown in the sea, so he switches their places and gets Sarah Jane killed instead. Imagine showing that to a 6-year-old. Right, this guy with no eyes can just magically and instantly teleport you to your death. Night night. Thank God he never appeared again. Oh wait, he killed Sarah Jane's parents. Fucking Lamau.
You want to play a game, child?
Unlike the other two, there is a very high chance that absolutely nobody knows what this show is. It only has 15 confirmed episodes and was a spin-off of Holly and Stephen's Saturday Showdown and was called Scratch and Sniff's Den of Doom. Airing on CITV in early 2007, most episodes are now considered lost media as only 9 of the 15 episodes have ever been fully found, while some sources claim there are up to 26 episodes. Truth be told, I've rewatched some clips and I really can't remember most of the show, so you're probably wondering why I've even got this on the list, and above some of the nightmare fuel that I've already shown you. That's because of the trailer, which I saw the other day but now can't find for the life of me. They told the kids that you would be eaten.
Oh, did we mention? If you lose, you get eaten!
Not trapped forever, not merely erased from time. These hyenas would boil you alive, tear you to shreds, and then joke about with your bones on TV for a laugh. I distinctly remember being absolutely petrified whenever the advert would come on TV, to the point where I would literally hide behind the blanket. Horrible.
Emotional damage!
Some honourable mentions here. These are the ones that did scare me enough to remember them, but I wasn't really having nightmares about these, or I was a bit older, so I didn't really have as much of an impact as it would have done had I seen them as a child, or if they're just straight up horror. The Woman in Black was a film I saw when I was about 12 or 13 because we watched it in English class, and I wasn't so much afraid of her, but the fact that she could cause children to just die from her presence alone really got to me, probably because I was still a child. Slender Man was an urban legend that was gaining prevalence when I was about 9 or 10, and obviously this entrance is not about the film. Slender Man games and such that popped up around YouTube helped perpetuate this image, but to this day I still don't know what any of his powers are supposed to be. The only thing about him that terrified me was his image, as the design was stellar from a horror point of view. Finally, and for my money the best piece of media of the 3 that I've just talked about, Grizzly Tale for Gruesome Kids was a British TV show that aired from 2000 until 2006. There was no revival, and I don't know what you're talking about, with repeats being shown for years afterwards. It was kind of Britain's answer to Goosebumps to a certain extent, certainly for my generation at least, including a brilliantly animated opening sequence. The show always was able to elicit some sort of emotion from almost anybody that watched it. And whilst it may not have traumatised me, there were definitely episodes that left a lasting impression on me, such as the one where the kid was an hour late for everything, and then is left alone on Earth to die by himself.
Oh shit, Doctor Who!
At number 1, like I imagine a lot of British children my age might pick, was a Doctor Who episode. For a lot of people, Doctor Who, in its classic run or the modern revival, would have been one of their earliest introductions to both sci-fi and or horror, with the show sometimes gaining the reputation of you having to hide behind the sofa. There were many episodes from the early revival that could feature here, as I was 4 when it was rebooted, and was watching every week. Fear Her, World War III, Tooth and Claw, Love and Monsters, The Satan Pit, and The Lazarus Experiment all terrified me during the first 2 Doctors runs, and that's without counting the episodes that I didn't see when I was younger, such as The Empty Child Midnight or The Girl in the Fireplace. However, I can think of 5 episodes that really messed me up as a child, with one really getting to me, and still creeping me out to an extent to this very day. The Idiot's Lantern villain, The Wire, really creeped me out with her ability to take your face away. The rest of the episode really isn't that good and ends with essentially the Doctor and Rose telling a domestic abuse victim to reconcile with the man that talked about beating him in front of a group. But the episode really messed me up because, again, she could take your face away and leave you a faceless husk to be whisked away and put in pens like animals. Doomsday was another episode that made me scared, purely because at the age of 5, I was terrified I was going to be sucked into a parallel universe and never get to see my family ever again. Looking back, the episode is great and it's a really sad moment, but 5-year-old me was scared of being sucked into that world, or the void with the Daleks and Cybermen. The Age of Steel 2-parter is just some great body horror that you can only really get in the show with the Cybermen. The image of the earpieces taking control of you and marching people to get chopped up whilst hearing people scream. You know what, actually, maybe I shouldn't have been watching this show at such a young age. If you talk to anyone about the scariest Doctor Who monsters, chances are they'll say the Weeping Angels, because my god, Blink is one of the best sci-fi episodes ever written for television, and it might be the best horror episode in Doctor Who history. Behind the one that messed me up the most, of course. The idea of a monster that only moves when you aren't looking at it is already terrifying enough and plays perfectly on the fear of the unknown, but the fact that they make you live out your life and then take it away at the cruelest moment is horrific. But the episode that most messed me up as a child was definitely Silence in the Library for 2 reasons. The minor one was the Vashta Nerada. Having the dark literally eat you is just the perfect way to annihilate any feeling of safety in the dark that a child may have and perfectly scar them for life. However, the main reason that the episode is here is because what the fuck is that? Grade A nightmare fuel. And that's all I can remember that traumatised me as a child. Let me know down below what scared you and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you all for watching and I hope to see you all later.